It's finally over. Edmonton, LA Part 3 has gone to the reigning, defending, undefeated champions of the matchup, Edmonton, as they have just eliminated the LA Kings in Game 5 of their 2024 first-round playoff series. Hey, pinch me if you've heard this before, eh? But, yeah. The Oilers beating the Kings in the playoffs. How unique is that? Now, you know what? This Game 5, there was a lot to talk about in regards to the intricacies of the game. You can talk about the refereeing, you can talk about the calls that were given, you could talk about the goal, whether or not Draisaitl's left side shot and save by Big Save Dave should have counted. You can talk about embellishment, you could talk about this, you could talk about that. I just wanted to go over some of the more basic things here because while it is true, I did watch this game, I had it on in the background, it was a great entertaining vibe. I feel like the story here is a lot more important because one of the biggest things that we had heard about the Oilers heading into this playoff round was that if the Oilers just do what the Oilers can do, I feel like it's a big belief amongst Edmonton fans that this very well might be the easiest path the Oilers will have to a Stanley Cup in years. That's not me disrespecting my Canucks, I'm just going out there and repeating what a lot of Oilers fans are saying. Beat LA in the first round, which we know for sure that Oilers can. I predicted them to do it in 6, they end up doing it in 5. My bracket's ruined anyway because I had Winnipeg winning the cup, thanks Connor Hellebuck. But beat LA in 5, which they did, and then play off against one of Vancouver or Nashville. It seems like a lot of Oilers fans are discrediting that second round matchup here because it's not a given that Vancouver is going to win, and I feel like common consensus on the idea of a Predators-Oilers series is that Edmonton will take this one easily. If it is Vancouver, though, then we'll see whether or not the Oilers' playoff experience will take out what was a team that had their number the entire regular season. But other than that, if you beat LA in the first round, you beat Vancouver or Nashville in the second round, then you play off against a tough opponent out of the Central in the third round, it seems to be like one of those years where the Oilers might actually have a good chance at getting through to the finals and maybe doing some damage in what would be a Stanley Cup matchup. But of course, you know, that's getting ahead of myself. The Oilers just won the first round here in a game that you could very well say was poorly officiated. I'm going to go out there and probably agree with that. You can say that they tried to control this game, the referees did. You could say there were narratives floating around. Oh, Kevin Fiala, he's gone out there and drawn a bunch of calls in the past. They talked about this on the Hockey Night in Canada panel, but if there was some sort of a conversation or two going around in the locker room for the referees in the intermission, hey, watch out for that Fiala guy. He likes to dive a little bit. You might have ended up seeing the result of that on the ice here as Kevin Fiala gets himself an embellishment penalty in this Game 5 against the Oilers. Of course, though, Edmonton's big guns came out to play. Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Evander Kane. Good to see Kane finally getting up on the board. This is what he was acquired to do for the Edmonton Oilers. And realistically, this game certainly had a different vibe from a lot of the other ones that we had seen. That Game 4 in particular was a very close, nail-biting 1-0 game where you could debate both sides nearly played perfectly. But in this one, the Oilers, I think, were the better team. They had more opportunities. They had high-volume chances over and over again. That second period halfway mark was just crazy for them in bolstering up their opportunities, and they walk out of the second period with a 4-2 lead because of it. Of course, Adrian Kempe scored at the end of the third to make things interesting and bring the game within 1, but throughout this entire matchup, I mean, look, is anybody really surprised that the Oilers beat the Kings? Nobody really should be, I feel, at this point. Sure, you could have debated that the Kings matchup upset was possible, but I don't know, man. Twice in a row it was already the Oilers series is to lose, and now they just do it again, because of course they can. This team is better constructed, I would say, than a lot of the prior Oilers iterations too, so that definitely helps them in their favor. But heading into this game, first goal of the night is scored by none other than Evander Kane. It was an opportunity on the side of the net there. Really nice rush chance by Brett Kulak, who sets it up on a silver platter for Kane, who then backhands it right through the wickets of David Rittich, giving the Oilers the 1-0 lead. At the end of the first, though, this is when the first overall pick of the 2020 draft, Alex Laferriere, went out there and scored the tying goal. That's his first of the postseason, and, you know, it's going to be the only one. It's off a weird bounce. It's the stanchion goal. It deflects off the partition on the glass there in front. Stuart Skinner is totally behind the net. He's caught off guard. Nobody can really predict a play like that. You can't get upset at anybody, but that's how it goes sometimes. Second period begins. This is where Blake Lizotte scores his first of the entire playoffs. And of course, you know, the only goal that he'll score this playoffs because he got eliminated, but it's a nice play too. Good passing to break the puck out, and eventually Lizotte comes right in on the right side, fires it low blocker on Skinner, giving the Kings a 2-1 lead. But then you started running into some power play trouble, and this is where the game started to open up. Gavrikov, Fiala, Dubois, Doughty, lots of penalties here. The Oilers took some penalties as well, all within the span of a few minutes, and the Oilers end up capitalizing. First goal scored by Leon Draisaitl on the night. It is the very nice one-timer shot that was saved by Dave, but then upon video review, they determined that it is a good goal, and honestly, I feel that it is too. Like, his glove and the part of the glove that contained the puck was fully over the line. There was a part of his cuff that was still outside the line too, but the puck is not settling in the cuff area. It's setting in the mesh, and that probably should have been a goal, which is why I was okay with the 2-2 tying marker. 3-2, Leon Draisaitl makes it 5 minutes later, so that's his second of the night. Really nice passing going on here by the Oilers. I mean, what else can you say? Connor McDavid out in front, Draisaitl with the 1T, beauty pass, and then Hyman at the end of the second period makes it 4-2 off of some great extended pressure by Edmonton. They're just cycling it around, they're on the power play expires, and then another puck goes in. Zach Hyman, his 7th of the postseason. He got 7 goals in 5 games in round 1 against the Kings. He absolutely went off, as did the rest of these Oilers players. And then Adrian Kempe with the tip-in gets it up to 4-3 to end off the game. Kings walk away out of this one with 21 shots and 3 goals, so Stuart Skinner did himself pretty alright, 8.57 save percentage. Big Save Dave, on the other hand, walked away with an 8.46 save percentage. He had 22 saves on 26 shots against from Edmonton. But now, this is where the real challenge begins, because the second round, we know the Oilers have struggled a little bit in some of these opportunities. I mean, they beat the Flames that one year. They lost to the Golden Knights the other year. They've been kind of up and down here when it comes to round 2. So it's not guaranteed that the Oilers go out there and just whoop whomever it is between the Canucks and the Predators, but we will see whether or not they're able to do that. However, though, I will say, as a Canucks fan who is eagerly anticipating a Game 6 between my team and Nashville, I am kind of interested in seeing how far this Canucks team could go against the Oilers. We know we've been cockily, is that the right word? We've been talking about it in a cocky way as to how the Canucks had a 4-0 sweep record against the Oilers this season, a whole bunch of games at the beginning of the year, another game at the end of the year. Casey DeSmith had a really good showcase against this Oilers team. And the Canucks, you know, all they got to do is squeak out one more victory against Nashville. They cannot lose their next 2 games. But, you know, you take these things games at a time, right? One game at a time. You don't want to think about the big picture when you're going day to day. But, yeah, Edmonton, they're waiting. So they'll be watching this Nashville and Canucks series as well, eagerly waiting to see who that opponent is going to be. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as to the Oilers defeating the LA Kings in 5 games and how this seemed, for lack of a better word, easy. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.